And what, you're in Logan and Todd and...
Just Logan and Todd.
Okay, so that other...
Yeah, they ruled that unconstitutional and changed it. And that brings me to one point I meant to mention earlier. You know, when I got in this race, it was never to run against anyone. You know, I know I have an opponent. I had an opponent in the primary, but really, I never got in the race to run against either one of them. I got into the race to run to represent you guys and the people around you. It's never been about, you know, making sure someone doesn't have another term or that person is so bad. There is major differences, but I think we need someone that is looking out for everyone in the same way. And what do I mean by that? What I mean is, like, oftentimes you get a politician that's elected because, I don't want to signal out any group, but let's say the Chamber of Commerce. He or she gets elected because they pander so hard to a local group or groups. And for me, I treat everyone the same. I'm going to come to your house and knock on your door and tell you the same thing if you own a bank or if you're unemployed. Because I'm not promising anybody anything special, because I believe there should be no special privileges in government. And sorry I had to throw that out there. But helping me volunteer, that would be great. I'm going to hold a fundraiser. I will have a level to get in that will be affordable for sure. I won't do it quite as cheap as what was spoken about earlier, but it will be something where people can come to. But I'm going to be hoping to find some people that will step up to the plate more to sponsor the event. But that would be something good to come to. And just anytime there's a local event, like if there's a fish fry or something like that, and you know what's going on, it's in your community, call me. I'd love to go with you, and you could introduce me to your friends or people you know, because that's some of the problem I have is since I worked in construction industry, I usually left the house at like 5 o'clock in the morning and got home about 6 or 7 at night, and that was driving to Nashville and back and forth usually. So, you know, I know the people in my age demographic, but there are other age demographics that I don't know a lot of people in, and people could help me with that. I would love to have that help, because that's some of the complicated things of when you go to these events. If you don't know anybody there, it doesn't do you a lot of good to show up. But so that would be something good that you can help with. But I would appreciate any type of help, and if you have any ideas of anything that you've done in the past that I should know about that would help, I'm all ears, and you can call me or talk to me afterwards. I'd appreciate it. But
do you have the latest printout on the precincts here in our county? You know, the Republicans have voted and all.
I just ordered it. Did you put the mail? Is it? I just put it in the mail yesterday to get the new list. But
all right, good.
I do have some lists that are pretty recent and updated, but not the brand new list to see who just voted. But
Did you hear Phil Valentine yesterday?
No, I didn't.
They have found a record that in either 73 or 76, President Obama joined the Socialist Party, and his name is on the list.
Right.
1972 or 3, I forget which one it was.
Well, you know,
that's the only time I've ever heard that.
A lot of times, you know, if you use inflammatory rhetoric when you're debating politics, people try to nail you in a corner when people have called the president a socialist. I've always tried to distinguish it just a little differently. Instead of calling him a socialist, I've always liked to say that some of his policies are socialistic in their nature. And that kind of takes the personal type thing out, because I think when you make politics personal, that's when you get into trouble. You know, it shouldn't be about the person. It should be about how they believe, or how they vote, or their policies. You know, it should be about issues, not about the person. But yeah, that's troubling. I mean, it should be evident in the healthcare takeover that how he believes. You know, and it's that way with a lot of things. And, one other thing, the Kentucky House has had a Democrat majority for over 82 years straight. There was 2 different years in the 1920s that Republicans took control of the House, and that is staggering. You know, and as I traveled around some of the people that are like the state party and the Republican caucus committee. You know, they're very excited this year because this is the first year in everyone's lifetime that I've talked to that we actually have a chance to take the majority of the House. And we need 10 seats, and they have a campaign right now where they're calling 12 and 12, where they hope to get 12 people elected on the Republican side. It's quite a task to do that much, but it is the best chance we may ever have to take control of the House. So that's a reason to get really motivated in my race. And anytime that you see the House races mentioned in the state media, usually this race is number 3 or number 4 on their target list of what they're talking about. And it's not because of anything that she's done or hasn't done. It's because of her opponent. And so it's a good thing. We want Frankfort to know about Logan and Todd County. We want to be on their radar. And that could be some of the reason we don't seem to get enough prosperity here. Mr. Greenfield, the judge, executive magistrate in Todd County, told me, you know, we don't get any road funding over here. And I was like, well, and I talked to someone that is pretty powerful that decides where the road money goes, and he asked me, now, who do you represent again? And I said, Logan and Todd. He's like, oh yeah, we've sent a lot of money over to Logan for roads. So he sort of confirmed what the judge executive was telling me there. So, you know, we're Logan Countyans here, but believe me, the people in Todd County, this is their seat too, and they feel like they're not getting represented. You know, they feel like they're the stepchild. You know, I sort of feel like this seat's the stepchild to Frankfort. I don't think they care too much about Logan and Todd, and I hope to change that. I hope to be able to make it difficult to forget about us in any way I can, not terroristically, but with a platform, with being able to speak up and speak out and work to be a part of the solution. There's a lot of talk about compromises, and you do have to compromise sometimes, but you have to make the compromise on your agenda. We don't want to compromise and have a $50 trillion debt. We want to compromise and start paying down the debt. So there is a way to compromise, but you have to pick your spots.
Are you a right-to-work candidate?
A right-to-work candidate, yes I am. Definitely, I'm very right to work. Sometimes it seems that right to work is misunderstood. I sense that in Lewisburg. I don't think a lot of people knew what right to work meant, and basically what I think it means is it gives you the ability to opt out of a union if a factory's across the street from here. You know, if they unionize, they can pretty much force a worker out unless you join the union. So right to work just equals the playing field. It allows you to work there and not be a part of the union if you want. It also helps to attract businesses, because a big business might not move here because they're worried that their business will get unionized and it will drive up the labor costs so much they'll be out of business. So they're more apt to go to our neighbor Tennessee and now Indiana than they are here. But for some reason, sometimes that's hard to explain to people. I hope that everyone here understands it. But
well, another question I get asked about you: are you a right to life?
Oh, yes, totally. I scored 100% on the right to life questionnaire. However, Mr. Kent Wilson also scored 100%, so they didn't endorse anyone, which I was glad that they didn't. And they sent out a mailer that showed that we both scored 100%. And now my opponent won't fill out their survey. I don't want to go into bashing her all the time, but she won't fill out their questionnaire. So you really can't, you know, that kind of speaks for itself, but, you know, it says what it says. I filled it out the day I got it and mailed it back the same day. I mean, I've pretty much done that on all the questionnaires. I've been told there were mailers that went out, you know, saying so-and-so didn't answer questionnaires during the primary. I didn't get the mailers. I don't know that. But I feel like if you can't put your positions out there, then you're either not ready to run for office or you've got something to hide, you know. And you'll have to decide why my opponent won't answer surveys, because she's not answering them either. But I want to thank you for having me. I want to thank you for being involved, and it's really an honor to be your candidate for state representative. Thank you.